Thank you for calling. If you're feeling suicidal and calling from a touch-tone phone, press 1. Holiday Phosphorescence will be right with you.
Christmas Eve, I'm waiting. Say, Dick, I ain't fading. And yeah, no slacking. Yo, cakes, I'm cracking. Damn milk and cookies ain't caught you yet. Got a little something special about the TV set.
Hello, everyone. This is Throw Smiley, and I didn't want to do this podcast over the internet. I really wanted to fax you. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh Cece, and put the slut back on.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I might have sex with a very symmetrical Christmas tree.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and I'm a wall artist.
The psychiatrist I've been dating thinks I should break up with you. I'm Alaric Weber.
This is Holiday Phosphorescence. It's your Christmas time shows. We're doing 4 of them this year. 4 in the main feed, and we'll have a monthly movie as always, because this show is brought to you by patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. And if you would like to see our monthly movies, then all you got to do is go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. $1 a month is all you need to get going there. You get to listen to a whole bunch of other podcasts we record. We got music ones. Let's see, we just did Drag Me to Hell, and then what was the one? You were on that, Jerry. What was the one we did afterwards?
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble
in Little China. That was our last one. So, and this month on our December monthly movie, we're going to be doing Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Phil Hartman. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up later this month. This week, though, on Holiday Phosphorescence, we're watching Mixed Nuts.
Hello, this is Lifesavers. Merry Christmas. How may I help you?
I have only 2 months to live.
I'm so sorry, sir. Everyone at Lifesavers is with you.
May I speak to a woman?
Hello, Merry Christmas, if it's all right to say that.
What's your name?
Catherine?
I want to ravish you like a wild animal.
Now stop it right this minute. We can't have that sort of thing.
Philip's job is solving other people's problems.
May I put you on hold while I run to my desk? You're not calling from a bridge or holding a weapon?
No.
Good.
But unfortunately, he's got problems of his own.
I don't know how to say this. My psychiatrist thinks we should break up.
I didn't know you were going to a psychiatrist.
Well, I'm not actually going to one. I've been dating one for 4 months.
And now it's Christmas.
Can we show a little Christmas spirit around here?
Merry Christmas!
Somebody's not in the holiday mood, I guess.
A time when the lonely
If you think your husband is having an affair, he is.
feel most alone.
Static again. Hello, hello?
I can't hear you.
Try clicking the little button. I'm having a problem hearing you.
Look, I'm at the end of my rope, and I want to die.
Click it, please. Go ahead.
I'm very lonely tonight. Is there any chance I could stop by and talk?
Well, if you were willing to make a small donation, say perhaps $5,000.
I'm kidding. I came right over. Do you have music?
I'm not like you, Philip. I'm not one of those people who's only good on the phone.
In my line of work, I deal with all kinds of people. None of them are what you might call conventional. Dancing with you makes me feel all fluffy.
Philip?
TriStar Pictures presents
I wish there were someone I cared for who cared for me.
Are you a professional ukulele player?
Oh, no, I'm a writer.
What do you write?
T-shirts.
Steve Martin
My heart is racing, and I'm feeling all nervous and sick.
That's the way I felt since the day I met you.
I wrote Save the Dolphins.
in the new comedy from the director of Sleepless in Seattle.
Catherine was very distressed, so naturally I had to comfort her.
Mixed Nuts.
Hello, Lifesavers. May I help you?
May I speak to a woman?
You are speaking to a woman.
Mixed Nuts. Released December 21st, 1994. With a running time of 97 minutes, it cost $20 million. It made $6.8 million. So it didn't do great.
I am really surprised they included the Stephen Wright
That bit,
Oh,
yeah.
trailer. Like, what
Yeah,
a weird way
yeah.
to sell us on something. Like, that dude shot himself. I don't even need context. I know that's.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie. Like I said, it didn't do very well at the box office in 1994. But I think that means we should play the box office top 10 game.
I love when it's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Throwback edition.
Oh, yeah. This is the box office. I will describe the top 10 movies of the week of December 21st, 1994. Fellas here are going to try to guess the movie. You ready to jump in, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Mixed Nuts did not open in the top 10. It opened at number 14. And doing better than it, before we get to the top 10, at 13 we have Pulp Fiction. At number 12, we have Interview with the Vampire. At number 11, we have A Low Down Dirty Shame.
Oh.
And
Martin.
and opening at number 10 this week, a rich young boy finds his family the target of an inside job and must use his cunning to save them.
Richie Rich.
Yes. How rich can you get?
Wow.
Starring
Al flew to the mic like it was magnetic.
Yeah, starring Macaulay Culkin and John Larroquette.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Richie Rich. Siskel and Ebert, by the way, gave that one 2 thumbs up.
Fuck.
They were mad about Big Trouble in Little China, but Richie Rich is just, that's fucking,
It's just
bam,
fun.
chef's kiss right there.
Yeah. Thumb and thumb.
Yeah.
At number 9 this week. Oh, okay. A lawyer and a little girl must prove that a man claiming to be Santa Claus is the real thing.
This is Miracle on 34th Street?
Yeah, the remake they made with
one of the Attenboroughs?
Yeah, Richard Attenborough. Yep.
I remember that.
I don't remember.
And
It's,
the little girl
Matilda.
that played Matilda. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's your...
Yeah. At number 8 this week. Oh my God. As part of a fertility research project, a male scientist agrees to carry a pregnancy in his own body.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger
Twins.
in.
Not twins.
Oh,
Expecting?
Not expected.
He's
Mr.
having
Mr.
a baby.
Mom.
Knocked up.
Danny DeVito, Arnie,
Oh, yeah.
and Emmy
Oh, I
Thompson.
can picture it.
Emma Thompson. It's called one-word title.
Baby.
Baby.
Boom.
Baby.
Baby. It's called Junior.
Junior.
The tagline was "Nothing is inconceivable." I don't know why I said it in Arnold's voice.
Because that's appropriate.
Well, yeah.
That's
So
what you
they
do.
gave Arnold Schwarzenegger like a womb and shit and like fallopian tubes, and then they'd have to birth the baby cesarean, I imagine.
I imagine, yeah.
I hope.
Otherwise, where's it coming from?
For his
I
sake.
pray.
Yeah.
he wouldn't need the fallopian tubes because he
No,
didn't need
he wouldn't,
ovaries,
right?
but
But he would have the womb.
some sort of woman, yeah.
And it would come out of the urethra. And
Yeah,
kind
I
of
was
like,
about to say.
when Popeye's arms would get.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a one-off. You can only do it one time.
It's like
yeah.
It's kind of like when the alien eggs burst.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
New Christmas movie, Baby Come Out Dick.
For Christmas.
Baby Come Out Dick.
At
.com.
.com. At number 7 this week on the box office top 10, with the help of a long presumed dead hero, our lead must stop a deranged scientist. That's all I can tell you without giving it away. It is
Is it a franchise?
It is a franchise. It's a big franchise. I guarantee we've all seen this movie.
Is it like
It was-
a Batman?
I
Mr.
was
Yeah.
No.
thinking it was an aliens until you got to the deranged scientist.
Yeah,
this a
everybody
Mission
had their head
Impossible?
on straight in those movies.
It's kind of a crossover of two of the most popular factions of this particular franchise.
What?
It was long awaited.
Aliens versus Predator?
No.
Freddy versus Jason
Nope. There's
versus Professor Jason.
I'll just give you the tagline. You guys should get it right away. 2 captains, 1 destiny.
Oh, Generations.
Star Trek Generations. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was no Batman in that one.
No.
And it suffered for it. Trust me.
Needs more Batman.
That's the kind of thing Gene Siskel says.
Yeah.
Needs more Karen Allen.
At number 6 this week, a boy and his father are targeted by his bitter uncle, who wants the father's place in society for himself.
The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Oh, right.
It's the society.
That's a great one.
It's like we live in a lion society.
It's a 5 o'clock world, man.
Oh, jeez.
At number 5 this week, I don't actually know this one. Weird. 2 political speechwriters fall in love before they find out they're working for candidates on opposite sides. Starring, what do we got? Oh, Michael Keaton and Gina Davis.
No.
This is a real grown-up kind of rom-com-y bullshit movie from the mid-90s.
Legal Eagles. It's
Let's
not
see.
that, but
It's the tagline.
the Regal Beat.
There are two sides to every love story. Don't believe either one of them.
Scripted.
It's called Speechless.
Oh.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah. At
Hashtag.
that one did not stand the test of time. At number 4 this week. Oh, okay. A tough cop teams up with a professional skydiver to capture a renegade computer hacker on the run from the law.
Yeah.
The Mr. Megorium.
That went so many directions.
Megorium.
That went so many places.
Sorry, Dustin Hoffman, dude. Oh my God.
As the skydiver.
As
Oh my
the
God.
skydiver.
The tagline is something dangerous is in the air.
Outbreak.
Ripcord.
Ooh,
That's a good
sounds
guess.
cool.
That's a good guess. It is skydiving related, the name, but it's not Ripcord.
Okay.
Starring the stars Wesley Snipes and Gary Busey.
God damn. I want to watch this movie.
No shit. Yeah, I can't remember now.
I don't know.
Jump.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Point Break 2. Breaking.
Electric break-in.
Oh, Terminal Velocity.
No. It's-
Dang.
Oh, damn, that's a good
It's
one.
called Drop Zone.
All of those other names we gave were so much better.
I know.
Yeah, I think Ripcord.
How would a skydiver be able to catch a hacker? Like, is he
I don't know.
Exactly.
A cop and a skydiver team up to catch a computer hacker. I don't
He's all, I can only take on the hackers that are 100 stories above or more.
Exactly.
Is he in an airplane? All right, well, then I don't know.
I don't know. You're fucked.
Right.
Good luck.
Out of my sky jurisdiction.
And he's like, and away we go, and jumps out the plane.
Whee!
Yeah,
Hacking remotely from a dirigible.
that's it. Jesus.
Blimps.
Blimp. Well, they need to make a high-speed action movie about blimps called Blimp.
They did with a fucking boat. Like, oh no, we're eventually gonna hit land.
At number 3 this week, There's a lot of Jesus Christ. Okay, a lot of fucking movies that I am unfamiliar with. I think I've heard of this one. A computer specialist is sued for sexual harassment by a former lover turned boss who initiated the act forcefully, which threatens both his career and his personal life.
Oh, shit. Sandra Bullock's in this, right?
No.
It's not the Pelican Brief?
Nope.
It's not the one where she goes to the internet and it's like virtual reality?
No. What is that? Was that the net? Yeah. No. This is Michael Douglas and Demi Moore.
I don't.
And she sexually harasses him, but no one believes him because he's Michael Douglas.
It's a woman's world.
I feel so bad for him.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I got this throat cancer. Demi Moore.
I got this throat cancer from eating pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a man's man.
Yeah, and it didn't break up his relationship or anything. It's just like, her pussy's cancerous.
And he's just like, what the fuck?
Like, I don't think that's the flex you think it is, Michael.
Yeah. Like, relax, my dude. We get it.
He wasn't even like advocating safe sex or anything. He was just oversharing.
No, he wasn't throwing his wife under the bus. He's all, gentlemen, listen.
He's like, you should perform cunnilingus to the point where you get throat cancer.
I fucking eat all that shit. I eat the ass. I eat it all.
All of it. It's all carcinogenic.
Belly button, toes, anything goes. Anything below the waist.
I eat all that.
I should be in jail.
This movie was called...
Does not come up during Ant-Man.
This movie was called Disclosure, by the way.
Oh, I remember this. I remember that. I never saw it, but I remember it in the shelves of Blockbuster and being like, hard pass, no good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shelves at Blockbuster.
Oh, at number 2, I can't believe this movie's this old. Okay. At number 2 this week, when a man inadvertently makes Santa fall off his roof on Christmas Eve, he finds himself magically recruited to take his place.
The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus.
Home Improvement.
There was a
Tim the
new one
Toolman
just this year,
Christmas.
wasn't there?
That's
Yes.
a TV series now.
Oh.
It's called MAGA Claus.
Yep.
You get it, Boomer. Things are changing and it's scary.
Cocaine Claus.
Yeah.
Once I found out that he got he caught a charge for trafficking cocaine, I thought, they made him Santa? Disney?
No, and then he got out of it.
I knew some chicks named Cocaine Claus.
No, and he got out of his cocaine thing by ratting on his fellow cokeheads, dealers. Never,
I mean, he was young. He was in his early 20s.
yeah, fair enough. I guess.
But so are all, so are all his compatriots, the rest of the bloopers.
Yeah.
They were debaucherous in the 70s and early 80s, and now they're all like, what? What?
What?
Yeah.
Cover yourself.
Yeah, how dare you color
Don't
your
curse
hair
at
and have
me.
same-sex relations?
Yeah, exactly. You freebased at Studio 54. You gave us aid, but okay. I'll park better.
You listened to Cinderella. Fuck you. And the number 1 movie of the week, opening at number 1 this week. After a woman leaves a briefcase at an airport terminal, a limo driver and his friend set out on a cross-country road trip to return it.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Man, I was way off. I love that the suitcase is
okay.
in the description.
I'm a limo driver.
Yeah, that is not.
It was all about that.
If you asked me to tell you the plot, I wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, the briefcase gets left.
Yeah.
But that's it. That is.
Yeah, that's the call to action, I guess.
It is.
There are heroes in that journey.
That is our box office top 10 for the week. That brings us to the production of the film itself.
Well, what about the comics background?
Al, what you got for us?
Santa.
So, with the popularity of Peanuts, Charles Schultz started a new comic strip called Mixed Nuts, 1968.
More diversity.
But this one was an edgy, hippie-centric one where they all did acid.
Yeah, the nuts were tainted.
It was the adults and the kids talked in the schwa-schwas.
Yeah.
I guess all nuts are tainted. So close to the taint.
Gotta watch it.
See, I accidentally watched Mixed Nuts 48, which was a porn.
Right.
Yeah, and UTZ.
No. So Mixed Nuts was based on the 1982 French film Le Père Noël est un ordure. Which which was a very popular French film, apparently.
I mean, the premise, now that I think about it, is it's definitely French.
It's farce. It's a comedy
French.
of errors, French farce, kind of. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
About suicide. Yeah.
Hey, that's so French, dude.
It's very dark.
Yeah.
They invented ennui.
Ennui. It is Christmas.
Yeah. In the French version, though, the lead characters were Pierre and Therese. Yeah. So it was written and directed by Nora Ephron, who this was let's see, this was I think only her second film she directed after. No, I'm sorry. This is her third film after This Is My Life and Sleepless in Seattle. Of course, she'd go on to do Michael and You've Got Mail.
Well, she wrote When Harry Met Sally. She was much more popular as a writer. She was also a script doctor.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like Elaine May, like a really, really funny woman. But when they tried to make their own kind of project, because Elaine May wrote Ishtar, but Elaine May also helped invent modern improv comedy. So
absolutely. Elaine May and what's his face? What was her?
Mike Nichols.
May and Nichols, yeah.
Director Mike Nichols.
They were like amazing. Those two together did a lot. But yeah. Yep. She wrote Silkwood, Heartburn, When Harry Met Sally, My Blue Heaven, which is the sequel to Goodfellas.
Oh, not sequel. It's at the same time. Just
no, because it's after. Oh yeah, I guess it's after. But he goes into. It's when they're in hiding.
After. You're right. Yes, it's Henry Hill in hiding. But I think that's from the original book. They just didn't.
Yeah, she adopted the same book as Scorsese did.
Did she really? Is it really based on Henry Hill?
Yeah. My Blue Heavens is
what a fucking trip.
Yeah.
About this Guido, even though he wasn't full Guido, but living in the suburbs with an FBI agent that's always checking in.
Yeah. But I mean, she, of course, Nora Ephron absolutely, gained her place in the pantheon with Sleepless in Seattle.
And her daughter was Nora Jones.
She was because they have the same first name.
That's it. That's my only connection.
Josh and I used to get that all the time. You guys brothers?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
What was I going to say? Oh, she was married to Bob Woodward, I believe, and Rob Reiner, who's in this.
Yeah. And Nora Ephron passed away in 2012. Let's see. We've got
Steve cameo in this.
I didn't see her.
Maybe she's pretty nondescript.
I don't know who's driving the car. That was my.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see. We've got our cast, and what a cast it is. Steve Martin as Philip. Oh my God, is this our first Steve Martin movie we've done on the podcast? I think it is.
Yeah, I mean it's full of legendary performers. So I mean,
brevity
absolutely. Is the soul of wit.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So Steve Martin. Of course, anybody who doesn't know who Steve Martin is, just fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No. Call me Mr. Steve Martin.
If you don't know who Steve Martin is, immediately watch The Jerk, Three Amigos, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yes.
Madeline Kahn as Mrs. Blanche Munchik. We actually have covered Madeline Kahn previously because we did Young Frankenstein.
Queen.
I love this woman with all my heart.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a treasure.
I think she gives the best performance in this movie.
Yeah, she's
Absolutely.
one of the funniest parts of this movie.
And
I agree.
I love her like frustrated voice, the flames on the side of my face.
Yes.
Tone she gets. Yeah.
Hey, dickhead.
Yeah. We also talked about Clue.
Yeah. Oh, Clue. Yeah. This is a third Madeline Kahn movie.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Robert Klein is Mr. Lobel. Robert Klein is he's one of those kind of like old school comedians who is in like a million things.
Yeah.
He got, let's see. Oh my God. He won a Grammy for best comedy album. And yeah.
A lot of comics have won.
Yeah.
Spoken word and comedy album.
Yeah. He did he used to have a stage show with Alan Alda in the 60s. A 2-man show
called Two Jews.
Chopping it up.
Chopping it up.
Just up here on stage, chopping it up.
Delicatessen.
He was the Owl and the Pussycat. He was in, that was one of his earlier ones. He's one of those guys where you're like, oh yeah, that guy, if you don't know who he is.
Right.
Let's see. Anthony LaPaglia as Felix. The guy who's not Andy Garcia.
I thought he was a Baldwin.
Yeah. He's got that look.
He's got that look.
He looks like the fifth
Baldwin.
The fifth Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, he was in a bunch of 90s stuff. Empire Records, The Client.
He's really funny in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So he's not a Baldwin? He's not like their cousin?
I thought he was, dude.
Yeah.
I swear.
Probably,
Are you sure though?
He looks like the fifth Baldwin. Yeah.
Was there a Sheen Estevez thing here?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. He has the most 90s sideburns in this. Like I covet those sideburns. 19-year-old me is like, God damn, dude, that's hot fire.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
The floppy 90s hair.
Yeah.
Always stayed in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One pierced ear. Yeah.
Yep.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Juliette Lewis as Gracie. Let's see. My Stepmother's an Alien, Christmas Vacation, Cape Fear, Natural Born Killers, California. It's Juliette Lewis.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gilbert Grape.
She's made a comeback. Like she's working.
Yellow Jackets. Yeah.
Yeah, and the new Chippendales show. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Moon just started
Still
watching
plays
that.
music.
Yeah, she was with. Let's see. She has a band called Juliet and the Licks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's right. Her dad's an actor too.
Yeah. Her father is
Jerry Lewis.
We all
and
no,
Nora
but we
Ephron.
all know this. We all know the actor. We've seen him growing up.
Jeffrey Lewis.
He was in what's it called? With Clyde.
Yeah, Every Which Way But Loose.
Oh, Which Way But Loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was often the like drunk, the Otis type character.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Let's see. Rob Reiner doing basically a cameo as Dr. Kinski. It's Rob Reiner. He directed When Harry Met Sally. This is Spinal
Meathead.
Tap. Meathead. Yeah. He was in Sleepless in Seattle. He directed The Princess Bride. I mean,
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And Stand By Me. Because of
Yes.
those two movies, he's all right. Well,
Did he do Spinal Tap? Rob Reiner didn't do Spinal Tap.
He did Spinal
right?
Tap.
No, he did.
Yeah.
He did Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Um,
Good guy.
So actually effectively creating the mockumentary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for all intents and purposes.
Mhm.
Adam Sandler as Louis Capshaw. I hadn't realized how little his shtick has changed in 30
At all.
years.
Same fucking
Well,
thing.
Yeah. Opera Man forever.
I mean, as soon as he got the first check, he's like, "Are you serious?" Okay.
No, no.
So
As
every
soon as
check
he,
after that.
no, Josh. As soon as he got his first check, he was like, "Open the bed, the ball did not buy."
Yeah, he was on the 25th anniversary special of SNL. He's out there with three of the writers: Jim Downey, Tim Herlihy, and But anyways, they're the writer. He's like, I know you think that I'm this comic, blah blah blah, but they actually write my stuff. They come up and whisper in his ear, and he's like, "Shabba-boo, yeah," and that's their writing.
So
they keep going to his ear.
I watched this last night with Jude, and all he kept saying was like, "Why does anyone think Adam Sandler is funny?" And I was like, "Well."
It's a legitimate question.
I mean, it was the 90s. It was a different time.
Yeah, he was like the sublime of comedians,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good idea.
He was a Gen X Andy Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt funny. Yeah. Exactly. It was more performance art.
Yeah.
I remember listening to that Tie the Goat to the Car album many, many times over as groups of boys when I was probably like 10 or 11 listening to him.
I still think Medium Pace is a funny fucking song.
Yeah, it's a funny song. At a medium pace.
I mean, what's it called? Billy Madison holds up, man.
Billy Madison
really holds up.
Happy Gilmore slightly, and everything after that is just diminishing
Billy
returns.
Madison is fantastic.
Yeah.
I own that one because the premise is brilliant. Everyone in it is Bradley Whitford.
And Adam Sandler's kind of the least funny part of the movie.
Yeah.
But to his credit, he was involved with making everyone else around him funny.
Very funny. No, the movie
Steve Martin. That he's really similar to Steve Martin. They're both annoying. That's their shtick.
Well,
to have them both in this movie is weird.
Yeah.
They played with performance art a lot. Steve Martin's stand-up is not great, especially if you can't see him. But if you can see him, you get the whole bit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I see.
Yeah,
there's an act here.
Yeah, which is why it's funny that he did so well on albums. That's like where
he did.
Yeah,
I know.
Liev Schreiber.
Small.
Liev Schreiber is Chris. We've talked about him a few times. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
This is his first role on film.
Yeah, this is his his first film credit. Yep.
I watched an interview with him and Conan, and he was talking about this being the first movie and practicing Dancing with Steve Martin. He got the quote unquote largest erection he's ever had in his life.
Yes.
Went into more detail than that.
Dude, Liev Schreiber's character in this is very confusing to me. In the sense that I might have had an awakening. That's all. I was like, Liev Schreiber is a hot fucking lady. Is that weird? Like, I want her to pick me up.
I got voice and everything.
I've got to say, I'm really, really shocked at how untransphobic this film is around it. Her character is.
There are a couple of bumps on the way, but man,
for 94,
it was surprising.
For 94, they did really well.
They could have made her more the joke, the fact that they're like, oh, it's just a crazy man dressed up like a woman. But it was, I don't know. They gave that character way more pathos, like more of a character, like it was a whiny person.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Other than the shitty family, no one misgendered the character. Like it was.
It's very French. Sorry, Thor, I cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, go for it. But yeah, you're right. Very French.
Well, and even the awkwardness seemed less homophobic and more like I think any of us would feel weird dancing slow, with a guy, not for any sexual type. Like it would be awkward. It would be sort of comedic.
Yeah,
like it was. It wasn't that like, oh no, he might be enjoying it. It's just.
Well, and
somebody walked in on you and your bro doing that. Like, there's nothing weird about it, but it's weird.
I think they're doing a foxtrot where she's leading.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
So
that's the thing.
That also adds
leading.
to the awkwardness. Like, it was definitely well planned.
He's so much larger than Steve Martin, and Steve Martin's quite light on his toes. He is a good dancer. Yeah. It's more visually funny.
Well, and we'll get there in this
about the trans situation.
In the story, the way that all the characters shuffle out they all kind of pair off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
We get Adam Sandler who pairs off and is just so unfazed by everything.
Yeah, they kiss at the end. When everyone's in front of the tree and it starts to pan out, they give each other a little peck.
No, it was ridiculously progressive for 1994.
Yeah, it really was.
Right.
Yeah.
Gary Shandling as Stanley, the landlord. We last talked about him in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his name is literally, Pine Tree.
Pine Tree, yeah.
And or Christmas Tree, but yeah. Then he ends up in one.
Yeah. Rita Wilson as Rita Wilson as Catherine, Mrs. Tom Hanks. We'll be talking about her again. She's in Jingle All the Way. Let's see. She was in Sleepless in Seattle. Is that where her and Tom Hanks met? I don't know. Oh my God. Her second movie was Cheech and Chong's next movie in 1980. Weird.
No shit.
Awesome.
Wow. Oh, Volunteers. That's where her and Tom Hanks met. Volunteers in 1985.
Candy.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Parker Posey and Jon Stewart as the rollerbladers.
Yep.
Let's see. Jolie Fisher as Susan.
Carrie Fisher's half sister.
Yep. Christine Cavanaugh and Henry Brown as cops. Brian Markinson as policeman. Stephen Wright as the suicidal man at a payphone booth. Victor Garber as the voice of the irate neighbor. And Haley Joel Osment as a little boy.
Yep.
I spotted that little fucker.
Yep. He's hard to miss, man.
Yes.
I see queer people.
Yeah.
And Santa Claus. I see.
And Santa. Who's kind of queer?
And a Baldwin Santa Claus.
It's a Baldwin.
Wasn't he the wizard in a Marvel TV thing? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody.
Wait. Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, and like in Jessica
He's in The
Jones
Boys.
He was in The
something?
Boys.
Oh, The Boys. That's what
Mesmer.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That about rounds off our production. It has 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fair. It's fair.
And it was reviewed by Siskel and Ebert.
The latest film by director Nora Ephron, whose Sleepless in Seattle was such a smash. But this picture, Mixed Nuts, is another contender for the year's worst film, a stunningly empty comedy with Steve Martin as a suicide hotline worker whose agency faces eviction from landlord Gary Shandling. Now, these are two major comic talents in a dreary scene.
We don't exactly have a cash flow. After you save someone's life, you can't ask them for money.
Doctors can. Aren't you some sort of doctor, Philip?
No.
Oh. Tell me, in all of your calls, has anybody impaled themselves?
No.
Oh.
And how's this for an original joke? The fruitcake that nobody wants.
A fruitcake?
Yes.
Remarkably like the one I gave you last year.
The would-be romance in the picture is between Steve Martin and Rita Wilson as his assistant.
My heart is racing and I'm feeling all nervous and sick.
That's the way I felt since the day I met you.
Your sweater was buttoned funny that day. One side stuck up higher than the other and poked up into your chin.
You remember that?
I'll never forget it.
I know what went wrong with Mixed Nuts. A lot of top-flight actors were asked to do just a couple of scenes for director Ephron, and they all signed on because, hey, how bad could it be? Mixed Nuts is how bad? Very bad.
It's bad.
Wow.
It's bad. Ooh, is it bad?
I mean, I don't know.
Really, really bad.
I don't understand.
Why would you have Madeline Kahn in a movie and have her spend the whole movie stuck in an elevator screaming? I mean, what did she think when she was looking at the script? Yeah. Oh, great, I have 17 screams. The movie is just, it's not worth even talking about anymore. Just forget about it. What do you think, huh?
Well, there's a lot of names that people might get drawn on. They might, you know, in the ads it's going to say from the director of Sleepless in Seattle. So here's our warning.
This movie isn't Sleepless. It's not in Seattle.
There you go.
And it's not any good.
Okay.
Can I want to point out something that is a fact. Another movie opened this week, and they gave it 2 thumbs up, and it was Richie Rich.
Exactly. Exactly.
Those fuckers. I think Madeline Kahn in the elevator is some of the funniest shit in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Her just improving, singing like her.
Even that conversation with Gary Shandling, it's like these two don't understand subtlety. It's weird.
It is, because their careers,
they're film critics.
Their career are watching movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, like I said, 13%. It's not a well-regarded film. I found it to be pretty charming and fun. And I haven't seen it in a long, long time prior to this.
It wasn't
I
as
hadn't
funny
seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was great.
I've seen it since then, but it wasn't quite as haha as I remembered when I was younger. But it's still good. It's a charming little Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that I'd seen this movie. But then like watching it, like every scene was familiar. Oh. I must have seen this at some point in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen this movie. This is my first time watching this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. I have no recollection. It might have been on HBO, like when we were kids, but I have no recollection of it.
Well, it dropped in '94, so
Yeah.
that's like when you guys moved to Tucson. When we moved up to so
I was
we
like
weren't watching
19
a lot.
already, 18, 19. Yeah, so it wasn't like something that was on when I was really young.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that. I watched it with my grandparents. And,
I feel like they got to like 75% of the kind of zany farce they were trying to get to. It wasn't a home run, but it was a solid C.
yeah. All right, let's rank it.
Okay, we're done. Bye, everybody.
We're done. Good night. Yep.
Okay, with that, you ready to jump into the movie, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Put the slut back on.
Here we go. This is Mixed Nuts. We open on the Venice Beach Boardwalk on Christmas Eve. So Jude and I were just in California a couple months ago. We stayed on Venice Beach for 2 nights, and you could see our hotel in several shots of this movie. Jude was constantly like, hey, I know that place.
That's always fun.
Yeah. So we meet Philip. He's riding his bike. A pregnant woman and her boyfriend ran out of a shop arguing. They knock over a pair of rollerbladers with a Christmas tree.
This whole intro reminds me. It seemed like look how California this Christmas is. This is the most California Christmas that ever existed. And I also had this resentful thought for a minute there, where I was like, remember the '90s, that boomer '90s, where you could just get an apartment on Venice Beach on a handshake.
Oh my!
God.
Spend your days rollerblading.
Just rollerblading.
Not just an apartment, a shop,
a
storefront.
A storefront, yeah.
I cannot imagine how expensive renting a storefront on Venice Beach would be.
It's the same thing as Friends, like this isn't possible.
Yeah, no, it was our hotel rooms were $200 a night, and it was a shitty hotel.
Right. So imagine the rent.
Yeah.
Or the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Philip tries to broker some peace between the arguing couple and the rollerbladers. They leave, and he takes the remains of the tree with him, heading back to his office.
This is a weird establishing the fact that he works for a hotline moment.
Yeah.
He says, it's what I do. My job is helping
help
people. It was just weird. It was very ham-fisted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his blonde hair, his dyed blonde hair.
Dude. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Anytime Stephen Martin
died,
not a silver fox, not cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see her be probably, like, well, let's distance yourself from yourself. But still, weird.
In only one way, though.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, he's full Steve Martin. Otherwise,
yes, yeah, he is full Steve Martin.
Right. It's like if you.
Yeah.
Well, because like he just did L.A. Story like 2 years earlier, in which he's like very not Steve Martin. Steve Martin. He's like, like cool middle-aged boomer Steve Martin. Whereas here he's not. Yes. So he's the owner of Lifesavers, a nonprofit suicide hotline. We meet Mrs. Munchik and Catherine, who work there with him. He arrives at the building, runs into his landlord, who's evicting them as of January 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Gary Shandling's drip. I'm sorry, but Gary Shandling's outfit is dope. That's my
Yeah.
That character fucks.
Yeah, he does.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, he totally does.
white socks, white sneakers, fucking sport coat and shorts. He's just like, yeah, I'm here to sling dick.
Doesn't he have a gold chain on too?
Yeah, he does. I was just like, yo, dude.
When they walk
Superman.
into the building and he's asking him about his different phone calls, I watched this twice, so that definitely jumps out the second time. He's like, anybody get skewered? Anybody? How did they die though?
Right.
Like, it's so curious about the deaths.
Well, and the doctor line is a hilarious beat.
Yes.
It works so well. It's like, I can't save someone's life and then ask them for money. Doctors do it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's unscrewing all the light bulbs, right, to save money on the electricity.
Save money, even the exit side.
Yeah.
You're one of the people who don't care. I'm the landlord.
But, well, then we turn. I won't spoil it. But.
Yeah.
Well, one of the female callers, it was like the first caller that Catherine was talking to, establishes the worry in the community over the Seaside Strangler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is going after women with long, dark hair, specifically.
And conventionally attractive, isn't that the other term?
Yeah,
that they use?
conventionally attractive women with long, dark hair.
A solid 7.
Yes, a solid 7.
I mention it because that would be a plot device throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great point.
He goes upstairs, doesn't tell the his coworkers about the eviction. He does call his girlfriend Susan, who's a loan officer at a bank. He wants to convince her to get the bank to give him a loan. She refuses and then tells him that she's breaking up with him for her psychiatrist, who she's been dating for 4 months. Yeah, a psychiatrist. She calls him her psychiatrist, though. And then she's like, I'm not seeing him. I'm seeing him.
Yeah.
Well, and he asks her for money like it's her bank. Come on.
Yeah, like
Just
she owns it.
Loan me $5,000. Yeah, but
She's
the
like,
bank doesn't have my name on it.
Yeah, she's
I
like,
work
I'll go
here.
ask Mr. Chase. Okay.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday.
Yeah.
At that point in time, it was Mr. Bank 1.
That's right.
That's right, Mr. Bank 1.
Mrs. Munchik tries to leave to go have dinner with her ex-in-laws?
Dead husband's sister.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't have to call them ex if you're widowed, but yeah.
And while leaving, she gets stuck in the elevator. Meanwhile, we check back in with the pregnant lady at her little shop, which the rent must be $12,000 a month.
Right, but totally a Venice Beach vintage shop. Like
Yeah.
the production designer nailed it.
Well, and there's so much stuff in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting is that Titanic shop. We saw it in the trailer here. It's a shop and it says Titanic on top. That's still there. It's still called Titanic.
Huh.
They have got a big like made a soldered iron like Optimus Prime, like 12 foot tall.
Yeah. Did she live in the shop? She lives in the shop too, right? They have a kitchen in there. and they're
I'm pretty sure. she lives in
back
there.
room.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of those little shops along the beach are like
We're
they have like a
bungalows.
dinette.
It was
and,
the Venice Beach area was an artist commune that was established like back in the silent film days. Charlie Chaplin lived there, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So all right. Let's see. She argues, Gracie is her name. She argues with her boyfriend Felix. They have no money. She's very pregnant. Exactly how pregnant is up for a little bit of dispute.
How pregnant do you need me to be?
Felix says she's only 7 months, but
yeah,
because he's only been out of jail for 7 months. However,
right, he's obviously off
Yeah.
by a couple.
He's wearing a Santa Claus outfit that she says multiple times. I could sell that.
Right.
Is that
Christmas
the only
Eve.
clothing that he has?
Yeah.
Why?
Why is he wearing the Santa outfit?
Oh, because they got into a fight and she cut all his clothes up.
Yeah.
That's right. She cut up his
Okay.
clothes.
The dots connect.
But it's still a vintage clothing store.
Yeah.
There wasn't a pair of jeans that fit him in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you can
That's
find
gotta
a
be-
Hawaiian shirt.
Hot as balls. You know, even
Venice Beach.
even in the wintertime.
I mean, this was clearly filmed in summer. Like, it's not
Yeah.
that warm in December on
Yeah.
the Pacific Ocean. Like, there's a breeze. So, let's see. Yeah, he's an out of work artist. He's a wall artist. If only there was another word
even
for that.
understand. You can find a fucking wall, Felix. You're not trying hard enough. I'm just saying, it's pretty easy.
You're a muralist.
At the end of the movie, when they're all outside and there's the whole Christmas scene, there's a really pretty mural behind them in a couple long shots, but it couldn't have been Felix. But like, I don't know. It's just like, does that upset him?
I assume
somebody got a wall.
There was subtext that they did not put in there, but I assume that he went to jail for his wall art.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
And that's why he was so obsessed with having to own the wall.
But at the same time, he's quite quick to pick up a firearm.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So homie could have knocked over a liquor store. Or
well, and at that point, he was high on pills.
Oh, when you got
right.
Yeah,
that was after the vet shop when he got the gun.
Just like
those were the ketamine.
every graffiti writer I know, just high on pills, playing with a gun. You know,
just like Santa Claus.
Those fake
like Santa Claus.
Watch out.
Shit, it's the Santa Claus gang.
Right.
Fantastic sideburns, though.
They did this other thing too that they do in the 80s and 90s in movies is when they want to convey that a character's a criminal, they always give them an East Coast accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I mean, a guy could be like,
Yeah,
I'm from Long Beach. You know, I'm from Orange County.
Yeah.
And the neighbor's like, hey, keep it down there. And I'm like, is everybody's from New York, I guess, apparently.
Yep. A criminal element.
Yeah. Like Howard Koch. Anyway.
Howard Koch.
Yeah.
That's that other Mixed Nuts movie.
Yeah, that's the N-U-T-Z.
Ed Koch. I was getting Howard Dean and Ed Koch mixed up, and I said Howard Koch.
Oh
my God, what is wrong?
I'm from Encinitas. What the fuck do you know? I'm from fucking San Diego. Born and bred.
I'm from Tarzana. Born and raised.
Fucking Tarzana, you know.
You mook.
So yeah, Gracie runs off. She's going to go visit Catherine at Lifesavers, with whom she is friends. We meet Louie, who lives downstairs and plays the ukulele. No one's rescuing Mrs. Munchik from the elevator. Meanwhile, upstairs, Philip gets a call from someone named Chris, who's very depressed and wants to come see them. Philip feels a lot of empathy for Chris and gives out their address against the rules. We see that Chris is a trans woman whose family is not accepting of her.
I think the empathy is because he asked for money. I don't think it was real empathy. I think it was guilt because I shouldn't have asked for money.
And panic.
Right.
Yeah.
But even though it is one of the transphobic scenes, his family is fucking
the
hilarious.
Arnold chant.
Yes,
the piano stops and just goes dun, 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 dun.
It's like Brendan has a mangina. Like even some of the meaner parents joined in.
Oh. Yeah.
And then as soon as you walk out the door, they just go right back to what they're just start playing.
It's crazy because they got like 12 people going on that. Like that's
and you know what? To say like this movie handles these things in an interesting angle because we sympathize with the character because they are being singled out by their family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If the family had been like, hey, Merry Christmas, we'll see you later, have fun with your friends, we wouldn't have thought anything of it.
And the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, that's kind of an insult based on he looks funny in a dress. Not that like they don't call him a slur. They don't call him like a fruit or fruit cake, which they could have thrown that joke in there.
Liev Schreiber's
but it's more like
dude.
you look, and he's tall.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Ray Donovan's a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They specifically got a guy who's like fairly large and muscular and masculine to play the character.
The voice too, because the voice does so much work.
But also looks strangely good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about it.
Very attractive. Like I said, I wanted her to carry me around like a baby.
Right.
Just carry me around. My wife just is like, really, what's with you and women carrying you around? I'm like, I don't know. Liev Schreiber.
It's a Robert.
Well, Jerry, there's a
Liev Schreiber.
I'm pretty sure there's a subreddit I can direct you to if you're into it.
Please do send links, right? I'll just ruin my life.
Watch She-Hulk. You'll love it.
That's true. But again, I just love it that like his dad just thinks he looks manly in a dress.
Yeah.
Like that's what his dad's problem. That's true. In its own way. He's not bothered that his son is in a dress. He just looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So on On the phone,
that's different. That's objective.
On the phone, she says she's alone. And I thought that was part of the joke as well. It's like she says she's alone, and then like walks out, and there are 12 people in the room.
Oh,
Yeah.
Singing.
yeah.
Well, and the
but-
little niece is putting on the makeup and holding her purse and everything too. She snatches them from her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
But emotionally alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Again, French, very French. Now that I know this was a French movie,
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what though? The thing that it lacked for being a French movie was a lot of cigarette smoking. There wasn't a lot of cigarette smoking. in this.
Not
It was
much at
also
all.
California in the
yeah,
90s.
Southern California.
Yeah.
Right, they had just made it illegal to smoke like in a Denny's. Do you know what I mean? Like this is around that time too.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah. And also when the rest of the country's making fun of them for being health nuts and for jogging.
That's
and,
true.
you know, that's
Well,
all Southern California.
And no, they were specifically like
But
one of the
she
first
does
states.
smoke. She smokes some Nat Sherman's.
Oh, she
Yeah,
does
she
smoke
does.
a Nat Sherman. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red one. Yeah, the cocktail cigarettes.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, so French. The idea that like even a man dolled up in a dress is still crying on a bed. You know, it's like you're not living your best life. You look fantastic. Like even a man in a dress is sad.
Yes.
Like a clown crying.
So yeah, Mrs. Munchik eventually gets the attention of Mr. Lobel, a dog owner with whom she's in a feud with. He tells Philip and Catherine she's stuck. Philip and goes out and is trying to pull her up through the top hatch of the elevator. When Gracie arrives and starts pressing the elevator buttons and the elevator starts going down.
I'm sorry, we missed, I think, one of the funniest parts is where Madeline Kahn starts opening the presents she got for the kids and stuff, and she starts playing with that, like, Beatmaster
drum
like,
machine?
child
Yeah.
preschool.
And freestyling.
And she's freestyling. And she gets frustrated when she doesn't have the rhyme.
It was something about punching someone in the face or something.
Yeah.
It was such a, I almost wrote it down. I should have taken a note because that was so funny.
Munchkin is okay. Not Munchkin.
Munchnik.
Munchnik is okay.
Mushnik.
Throw it in my face or punch me in the face.
I'm like stuck in this place or something. If you don't get me out, I'll punch you in the face. She had bars.
Yeah.
Like she could have totally won a freestyle battle against Adam Sandler.
Oh, hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, dude.
And he's notorious for changing lyrics and
Yeah.
Well, his whole Christmas song was him making fart noises.
and then
He
making
did-
his own lyrics.
Yeah, about cheese or something.
Everybody wants to eat cheese. Yeah, or
Or
whatever.
something. Yeah. I don't know.
So let's see.
So the elevator starts.
Yeah, it
back
starts
up
going
with
up.
them on
They're
top.
afraid they're going to get crushed, but then they're fine. He reveals while he's panicking that him and Susan broke up, which makes Catherine happy because she has a crush on him. Eventually, they all return to the office. Felix arrives. He's begging Gracie to listen to him. She hits him in the head with a fruitcake, giving him a concussion and a big cut on his forehead.
Chekhov's fruitcake that just keeps getting passed
Yeah.
around.
Philip and Catherine take him to a vet to be treated for his head wound since they have no money. They make Mrs.
Or insurance, and
Or-
they, this fucking country, man. We have joked about that, and then Breaking Bad was completely about that. It's just
Yeah,
we think it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
They weren't able to make Breaking Bad in foreign markets because it made no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a joke, even 94. Like, it's got no insurance. Go to a vet.
Yeah, it's been going on for it became so normalized for so long. It wasn't until like the last 10 years that I started really being on the internet and seeing what other countries are really like, being like, oh,
Yeah.
wait, we don't have to live like this?
Well, and not to segue into the next thing that happens in the vet office, but he
please.
takes a bottle of pills, like an entire bottle of pills.
Yeah.
Ketamine, right?
Like,
Isn't
yeah.
that?
Dog tranquilizers.
Yeah, which I would assume is some sort of ketamine dosage for dogs, but an entire bottle. It's interesting because he's a junkie, essentially. Dude's got a
Right.
serious problem.
Yeah,
Immediately,
that's
someone's
true.
like, these are dog tranquilizers. And he's like, fucking sedatives, tranquilizers,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the joke.
The
you
kid
know.
at the party that will just take the handful of
Yeah.
pills from you.
Right.
Whereas now we look at that and we go like, oh, this is a serious problem. But even in 94, here we were making jokes about it.
Yep. While they're gone, Mrs. Munchnick discovers the eviction notice that Philip was hiding from her and Catherine. Felix takes the tranquilizers, and they decide they have to take him to the hospital.
Catherine had found the eviction notice a little bit earlier before they pulled Mrs. Munchnick out of the elevator.
That's right. Catherine found it before.
Yeah.
Is that the whole bit where he's wearing the pajamas she knitted him, where one sleeve's super fucking long and like
and he's trying to swat the letter off the bottom.
I thought that was funny. One sleeve's too long, and
yeah,
because she's not actually very good at knitting.
Those were pajamas.
That's right.
Yeah,
knitted pajamas.
You know what? Though, I would wear those.
Knitted. Oh, I'd wear.
Knitted wedding pajamas. That was like more of a wedding present than a Christmas present.
I'd wear those to the club. That's where
just one long ass sleeve.
Timberlands. And just,
well, I mean, she doesn't look much more ridiculous than 2000s rappers. So.
Timberlands,
right?
Yeah, some Timberlands like right.
And she said nobody gets the groom with like sleepwear.
Yeah, everyone gets the bride like lingerie for the wedding night.
Yeah.
Let's see. Meanwhile, at the office, the doorbell rings. Gracie goes to answer it. Mrs. Munchnick originally doesn't. She's standing next to the door because she thinks it's the Strangler. Gracie throws the door open, striking Mrs. Munchnick, and it's Chris there.
She has the best line, one of the best, where she's yelling through the door because she thinks it's the Strangler, and she says, I am attractive, but I'm not young. I've never been young.
Yeah.
I thought that was so fucking funny. Like, I've never been young. Yes.
My hair is short. And
I am attractive. There is no discussion about that.
Yes, there's no discussion about that. Yeah, exactly. That and the whole scene where she has to pee and she like runs through and pees in front of everybody too, just holding the beach towel. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just I've never been young to me was I like laughed out loud.
That seemed like an improv from Madeline.
Yeah.
God.
Well, she's so brilliant. Elevator scenes as well. Fuck this, don't leave it. Speaking to herself. Like what her hilarious bit in Young Frankenstein, Peter Boyle's not saying a goddamn thing. She's like, "Oh, you brute!" Like
yes, exactly. Yeah.
My eyes have seen the glory of the coming.
No, oh sweet mystery of life.
That's what it is. Sweet mystery of life.
That's right. It's at the end where she has the Bride of Frankenstein hair that she's singing.
Well, after she bangs him, yeah. Or he bangs her. It's
But
like
she's-
the Madonna scene in Reservoir Dogs.
I wish they would have done just a little bit more with her. I don't know. She did a
Same
lot
here.
though. Yeah, but she was the one I really wanted to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish she was the love interest.
Like Felix, I could give a shit less about. I was like, this Baldwin's fucking everything up. He's annoying. Like he has gotten his character. This Baldwin is just doing Baldwin shit.
Like like Frank Baldwin.
Yeah.
The fifth Baldwin.
Cheeto Baldwin.
She gets called grandma at some point by the creepy lecherous dude on the phone.
Yeah, she's not that old, is she? Like,
Yeah, I mean, she's so hot in this movie. Are you kidding me? As a grandma, damn.
That's a hot.
That's a
hot
gilf.
Liev Schreiber, and that's
yeah.
a hot gilf.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a fucking mess.
Steve Martin would have looked good if he just left his hair normal. It's all weird with the
She was 54.
patchy dye.
She was 54 years old when
During this movie?
Yeah, Madeline Kahn
Okay.
was. All right. So, let's see. So Gracie leaves Mrs. Munchnick with Chris to take care of her. Philip comes back, sees Chris sitting on the sofa, and they start talking and then dancing.
And again, as far as being progressive, like, what's the word without me being not progressive? But he's not like flouncy. You know what I mean? Like he comes off genuinely feminine, the way that he is coy and makes little jokes back and forth. And it's
not
brilliant performance.
Liev Schreiber wasn't playing a drag queen. Liev Schreiber was playing a trans woman, which is
right. But I'm
entirely
saying the subtlety of but that doesn't necessarily make your
But he
demeanor
wasn't.
feminine.
I know what you mean, though. He wasn't camping it up or making it incredibly flamboyant. It was,
or he wasn't playing what he would think is an idea of a woman. He was playing a female character, and it's the subtleties, like I said, the coyness and the OU kind of thing.
Yeah,
very romantic. Great performance, I guess that's my point.
Yeah,
Cotton Weary really killed it.
He did.
Chris mentions that she met Henry Kissinger.
right, at a dance club.
Oh, he used to go to Studio 54 all the time. There are pictures of Kissinger at Studio 54.
Fucking Kissinger.
But he doesn't remember her. She says nobody remembers me. I'm sure that's not true.
But that's her celebrity crush. That's her
Henry
fascination.
She says she bores them. I bore people.
Go French.
Very French.
Very French.
Very Kissinger. Very French. It's fucking Kissinger today. I did not know he hung
It's
out at
very
Studio
how you
54.
say Kissinger.
Kissinger, like very, just murdering poor people.
I was going to say, he's in Studio 54 and he's like, I planned the Christmas Day bombing of Hanoi.
I was thinking of it, Turtle.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a deep.
They do the whole dancing though, where Steve Martin keeps his crotch, like he's
trying to keep his crotch far away.
Yeah.
Until he doesn't.
Yeah, it's
until he gets into it.
Yeah, because he got the warning from Liev Schreiber during rehearsals.
Yeah, that's true. Don't get too close to the serpent.
The serpent. I'm hard as fuck right now, bro.
I'm circumcised.
Steve Martin's a really good dancer.
Yeah, he's like, listen, you want to leave my Schreiber alone.
I'm in character. Very method, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. Mrs. Munchnick awakens. She sees them dancing and threatens to sue Philip for withholding the information of the eviction and for inappropriate office behavior. Then she leaves. Meanwhile, Gracie's giving Catherine one of those classic 90s makeovers where she looks exactly the same afterwards.
Pretty much, yeah.
And a velvet dress.
Yeah.
Velvet dress. That's very 90s is a velvet dress, actually.
Yeah. Vintage velvet.
Rita's whole outfits are all very 90s, like the long kind of flowy, it's not a sundress, but that dress, but with the black tights. I remember hanging out with girls who were wearing that back then.
Very slim at the top.
Yeah.
Then sundress.
Yeah.
Also, I just got to get it out of the way. Rita Wilson looks like a Shrek. That's all I have to say. She looks like Princess
I kept
Fiona.
staring at her, and I'm like, she's not unattractive.
Yeah, no, she's cute, but she's also a little weird.
Mousy. Madam calls her
kind
mousy.
of a
That's
Shrek.
definitely...
Like, she's got a Shrek face. That's all.
I love that Shrek is in almost every episode. So much.
Yes.
Have we gone a week without mentioning Shrek?
I don't know. I was listening to one last night. I can't remember, but yeah.
Oh wait, we haven't mentioned the Crudes today.
The Crudes.
Well,
or gay 5-star.
Oh my god, if there's a gay Crudes letterbox review. We're incepting. So let's see. Mrs. Munchnick is trying to get her car started when the fruitcake gets thrown out the window and breaks her car window. Her dash or her windshield.
Gracie brought a somewhat matching outfit for Philip.
Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's got the velvet coat.
The crushed velvet coat.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the I Wonder song.
Oh yeah, the Adam Sandler I Wonder song.
Oh yeah.
I think that was before the.
Yeah.
Right, because she's now Lady Shrek is using Adam Sandler as because she's jealous because he was dancing with Schreiber.
Right, and he's smitten with her.
Mm-hmm.
She's smitten with Philip.
Mm-hmm.
And Philip is, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he stops her.
Yeah. And they brought Chinese food back with them. They're having Chinese on Christmas.
Yes.
Philip has been told at this point by Mrs. Munchnick that Catherine is hot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he knows the deal.
So now he's starting to look at her in a different way.
Yeah.
With the crushed velvet.
That changes anybody.
Yeah, the really Looney Tunes googly eye.
He's who's that fella?
She walks.
Mm-hmm.
He also writes the song, and she says that's a lovely song, and he said it's a work in progress. It's taken me 8 months to write it. I quit my job.
May never be finished.
It may never be finished, and I quit my job. Right? And he quit his job to write. To
write that song.
Yeah.
But he also says he writes the T-shirts. What is his What was his job? Was it writing the T-shirts?
Well,
that was another thing. Like we were talking about how how cheap everything was. It's in the early '90s. You could not have a job and still be all right. There was money in the '90s.
He's a Hilton, right? Like he's just like
he's money.
Well, and that's
he's a Kardashian.
And what I found confusing was that at the beginning the landlord says they're the last ones that he's trying to evict. Like, but Adam Sandler and the dude with the dogs live in the building. So like,
yeah,
maybe they had just accepted their fate. Yeah. They're
not trying to run a
Nellies.
nonprofit out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So while Madeline Kahn is sitting on her car bumper, Mr. Lobo comes up with his dogs. He comforts her, and Mrs. Munchnick realizes that she's into
thirsty.
him. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if she's into him.
Well,
she just won't fuck.
Too past.
She's just DTF. Okay.
I think fuck.
I think that the rabies was a cry for attention.
You're right. It could have been that she was smitten with. That's a good point.
But
that's that other good line where she says, "What is it? You either have rabies or you don't have rabies."
Yes.
Like it's not
There's
in the
no in
middle.
between.
Practically gave me rabies.
Yeah.
You don't practically get rabies.
Yeah.
I'm a trained mechanic. I could fix this in a minute. But not
That
for a
was so
dog hater.
So they go and have sex on the beach. Which I don't recommend to anybody.
They didn't bring a towel.
Sand's intrusive.
Also, why did I just kept waiting for him to tie up the dogs? Like, is he just holding the dogs the whole time? Like, go tie the dogs.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because they're going to be getting into
the dogs are going
they shouldn't be.
Whether they think it's playing or not, the dogs are going to be getting.
They're
going to
be up in that business. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that ties into the whole like I know what you do down there with those dogs. Because she yells at him at one point. Is that the angle? No, it's very European.
She's very into it without wanting to say it out loud. I know.
Yeah, my dogs will identify everyone menstruating.
You and you. Oh, and you. Yeah.
For some reason, you, Steve Martin. Yeah.
The reason you.
For some reason, you.
So later on, Felix arrives with the gun, having escaped from the hospital.
Still a little high.
Yep. Still.
I'm a little high.
Chris gets shot in the foot after attempting to disarm him. Gracie takes the gun and shoots wildly around the office to empty it of ammunition.
Damn, these people are going to have a
There's
child.
an easier way to do that.
Oh my God. Yes, there's another way to take bullets out of a gun.
Right. They're going to have a child. They're going to have a baby. She has a baby. They raised the baby.
But also she runs a successful store on Venice Beach.
She is also a Hilton, I think.
Yeah.
And at this point, she looks like the Madonna.
She
looks like
you're
Virgin
right.
Mary. She's got the shawl and a lot of Christmas elements.
Yeah. So two shots go through the door, killing Stanley because Catherine earlier called him to fix the elevator, and he's finally showing up to do that. The sight of the dead Stanley puts Catherine in shock. Philip prepares a bath to calm her down. While in there, he confesses his love to her.
Puts her in shark. Sounds more intriguing.
I loved how he had taken the gun and then opens the door and then slowly walks back, wiping his prints off of the gun and gives it back to Gracie.
Yes.
No,
and puts
and
her
then
hand
takes it
around
away again.
Yeah.
Puts her hand on it and then sets it down. Yeah,
That is actually a pretty good scene, actually.
that was a
Yeah.
that seemed like a
Very
Steve
subtle.
Martin improvised bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they have sex in the bathroom. Meanwhile, Chris and Louie get to know each other better. He sings a song to her.
I just want to say this ukulele that he's playing is like easily $1,000 instrument if it's a modern era one, but if it's an older one, that's like a $20,000 instrument.
Jeez.
Are you serious? That ukulele, really?
A little Martin ukulele, depending on what era it's from. A new one is like $1,200. If you get it from the 90s, it's probably $1,500. But if it's from the 60s, it's worth a lot of money.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just read a fun little piece of trivia. In The Hateful Eight, when Jennifer Jason Leigh is playing Jim Jones on the guitar, finally Kurt Russell gets so mad he picks it up and smashes it. Well, apparently Quentin Tarantino got a vintage folk guitar from a museum valued at around $40,000, and they were supposed to switch it out with a replica so he could smash it. But Kurt Russell was so in the scene and in the moment, he destroyed the $40,000 guitar.
Exactly.
Well, and what's her the
Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Yeah, she realized what was happening, so her expression of shock when he does that is just her actually being like, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone, all the crew had to gasp silently. Like, can't fuck up this scene, but oh my god, he just smashed.
The museum official that loaned that out, they had a quote where they were like, "We're never doing this ever again for another movie." So we owned it forever.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell felt so bad too. I remember seeing him be like, I wish I had known. Whoops.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I wouldn't have been surprised if Quentin himself called the museum to get it nailed down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure.
Himself. So he probably vouched.
Can you vouch for Kurt Russell, though?
No, you cannot. Jack Burton.
Can you trust Quentin Tarantino is the real question.
That is the thing.
Like, how many feet are going to touch that guitar?
All of them.
How many feet?
Every cast and crew members.
All the feet.
Touch it.
All the feet. Puma's feet.
Yeah. So let's see. Gracie and Felix disguise Stanley's body as a Christmas tree with burlap and super glue. They decide they're going to take it and the bag down to the boardwalk and leave it there.
It's fucked up.
It's kind of fucked up. Just unceremoniously dump the body.
This took a big ol' L.
Yeah.
And this is all because Philip promised Gracie that her baby won't be born in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what's weird is like the events of this are so black comedy, but the tone was like kind of like light, wacky, Christmassy. Like, I don't know. The tone didn't quite match the actual hijinks going on, I felt some of the time.
I feel like the climax of the movie could have felt more climactic. It needed more of like a Clue pace increase at the end.
Yeah, because it did kind of have a Clue vibe, right? I mean, they're all shouting, falling out of doors together and crowding into doorways and all moving as a unit at one point, just like in Clue.
There is a vague murderer.
Right.
Yeah.
But the end is just kind of, it happens.
Well, at the end, you're reminded that it's a Christmas movie because Christmas movies can end with just a bunch of people standing around a tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of them do.
Because I've done that a billion
train
times. Right?
shot out.
Yep. Arnold. That would have been rad if they were in the back of the crowd. Just
Arnold.
Caroling as they walk by and they stop and just start chanting it.
Oh, Arnold. I hate that when you call me that.
Let's see. Felix tosses the tree. It crashes
because the rollerbladers.
Because the rollerbladers are coming. Stanley's body is revealed.
And they planted Stanley upside down.
They did. Right. The head was in the bottom.
Stanley Tenenbaum.
I didn't understand that decision because there would be a lot of blood everywhere. You guys.
Yes.
That was a very neat Yeah.
Yeah.
Very clean wound.
Yeah.
Super glue. They super glued the wound shut.
Oh no.
Yeah. So let's see. Gracie pulls out.
Munchnick like immediately starts going into a story about Stanley committing suicide. Like she didn't drop a beat.
Yeah.
She didn't.
She was on the ball with that.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
She's right to die. Yeah.
She said he was depressed over the condominium conversion and felt bad.
He felt bad. The guilt was too much for him.
And Philip and
nobody
Catherine,
lies like an old lady.
Yeah.
Philip and Catherine tried to hide it because they were they couldn't prevent his suicide. They were ashamed. But the cops don't believe it.
Yeah, they're like, no kidding.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So Philip confesses to the killing. Gracie pulls out the gun.
Felix does.
Felix, I'm sorry. Felix confesses of the killing. Gracie pulls out the gun as proof of her guilt. Felix grabs it. He runs to the roof of a nearby building where he threatens to commit suicide. And Philip talks him down.
So was his arc, because he has an arc in this story, that he was good only on the phone, and now he's good not just on the phone.
Now he's good in person, yeah.
So dumb.
Because he's being honest with himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're giving him more credit than they did, but
yeah.
Well, I think they like intentionally did it, but just were like, this is dumb. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
and it's his last line in the speech. It was, "Everything sad is so much sadder at Christmas."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, actually, suicide rates are quite high, and I'm sure that this was, kind of based on that in a way.
Yeah.
But like suicide, a lot of people commit suicide at Christmas.
He also says 3 horrible and unexpected things happened, but then something wonderful. I don't know what that something wonderful is.
He had
now that
sex.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, he got laid.
That's right.
Got laid.
Got laid, yeah.
The greatest
That's
gift.
right.
Yeah.
He tapped into
greatest-
her hotline.
The greatest Christmas gift.
So
Yeah, it is.
when you guys watched this movie, was there a suicide trigger warning at the beginning?
No.
No?
Of course
No.
not. We did not have trigger warnings.
Well, I'm just curious because
They hope to trigger us.
I may or may
liked
not
it.
have watched this in an illicit manner.
Sure.
I tried to find it illicitly, and it was hard, so I rented it.
Hit me up.
Right? Because my venues were not working. Nobody was sharing mixed nuts, apparently.
Yeah.
I know.
It just barely crossed the 15% threshold.
Yeah.
For people to put it on the internet.
Well, I saw that the full movie was on YouTube, and then I clicked it, and it just had a scroll that kept being like, "The movie's in the link below."
And you're like,
"Not
no.
this time,
Not
Satan."
falling for that trick.
Yeah, not again.
I've got it on VHS. Which
Yeah.
I imagine you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
podcast over.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye, everybody.
We'll have to rectify that.
So, all right. So Catherine gives Stanley's bag to the detective. They search it. They find the fishing line and some kelp, which is the Seaside Stranglers' weapons of choice.
Mm-hmm.
What is the kelp for again?
I think he kills you with the line, but then wraps that around you, maybe.
And so instead of going to jail for killing someone, which she did, and I don't think you get out of murder charges just because they were also a murderer.
You can't kill criminals either. And the cops say, congratulations.
Congratulations. Also, that's not a reward. That's a fucking bounty. Like,
Yeah.
this is like prairie law. Like,
yeah.
He's a bounty hunter now.
Yeah. Where's my money? I shot him.
I killed his ass, so
in
you
the
have to
town
pay
square.
Yeah, and that's $250,000,
Yeah.
right? They give her
Yeah.
$250,000
In 94.
In 94, that's like that's like probably $750,000 now at least.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Yeah. So let's see. She's gonna give Philip the money to keep the lifesavers open.
She hesitates because $5,000 is a lot of money.
Yes.
Right. But
Even
she's
to
getting
somebody
a
who
quarter
just
mil,
got
but yeah.
a quarter mil.
She's like, $5,000. And she called them every single day. You know what I mean? Like, so it
Yeah.
meant something to her personally. But
Well, it's like
man.
That's her NPR contribution.
I use Wikipedia a lot,
Those are a
and
tote
still
bag.
every time I'm like, $2
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
To keep this going.
Going to the Mr. Wikipedia vacation fund. man.
$2
Exactly.
twice a year. Like,
Mr. Wikipedia's buying yachts.
That being said, please, for only $1, join our Patreon.
Yes.
Sponsor one of us.
Please, patreon.com/harmlessfuss. Harmless entertainment. So yeah. Philip asks Catherine to marry him, and she says yes.
Just like that?
Right. The whole ending of this, she's like, I'm a millionaire. I'm having a baby. Let's get married. Like, bam, 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 quick. Like,
Yeah. I feel
Just
like
like Mary and Joseph.
him asking her to marry him was like, it's like people like when you get engaged at somebody else's wedding.
oh yeah,
You know?
good Lord, knock that off.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a wonderful celebration. We should get married right now. We should,
Yeah.
that should
Just
pop the
thunder
question.
stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this woman's having a baby under the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's the perfect time to propose.
This
Buy a
pic-
vet.
there'll never be a cuter picture.
Yeah. Yeah. She gives birth. We see that then we get to see Felix's mural, which basically had the movie on it.
It also was not good.
No,
It was very bad.
he wasn't. He
It was
wasn't.
badly done. He was an awful artist.
Art is
Yeah.
subjective, even when
It is
it's bad.
subjective. Yeah, even
But that
when
was
it's
still
bad.
not good.
And do we ever see
His
the
is
baby?
the story, though.
Did they hire a baby actor? Like when she gave birth, was there? I cannot
There
remember.
there was
Baby actor.
there
An
was
acting loaf of bread.
Or like Muppet Babies.
no.
like a
I
little
looked
Tom
at it
Cruise.
and I was like, well, that she gave birth to a 9-month-old child.
Right. Was it? There was a baby though, right? I can't remember.
She was holding
a
an actual baby.
Okay.
Someone threw it in the tree.
Okay, what did they name the baby, though? Do we think they named the baby Jesus?
No. Yeah,
They better have.
Sure, why not?
Right?
They know it's good for them.
They named it
Yeah.
Stanley.
Stanley. It was Christmas. The baby was born on Christmas. Does that make Felix like the representation of God since she's the Virgin Mary?
Oh,
Maybe.
yes.
How
Felix is
French.
the Holy Ghost. I don't know.
He is the Holy Ghost. Yeah.
Is Felix the father? I think is the first question.
I think he's probably not.
Oh, right, because he had just gotten out of jail 7 months ago, and then she had the baby. Oh,
So yeah, probably not, because that baby did not look premature.
shit.
Dad.
I didn't even put that together. She was only
Right.
7 months pregnant during the events of this movie.
As she
right,
kept
because
saying,
he's like, I just
is
got
what
out
she
of jail
said.
7 months ago.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
well, and they
Huh.
kept saying, "Are you sure you're the daddy?" It's like, "What? What's that supposed to mean?"
Guns.
I was born 6 weeks early.
It's possible.
This would have
It's
this would
not
have
It's
been
in the realm.
it's
in
not
the realm of
8 weeks
possibility.
early, but
But ironically, your twin sister was born 4 weeks.
This is-
So yeah, that's about it. Roll credits. Mixed nuts.
the end.
Yeah,
They said the name of the movie multiple times in the movie. Is that what doomed the movie?
did.
well, maybe.
They're like, "What
Oh.
is this? Some kind of mixed nuts?"
That's why they call us
Dad.
Mixed Nuts.
So Philip's dad, that was there's in every pothole there's hope.
Yeah,
Right.
That was
mhm.
that was his dad's line, and he said that like right before he left and got hit by a truck full of mixed nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
So that's a really dark origin for the title of the movie. That's how his dad was killed
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in a tragic pothole mixed nut truck accident.
He fell into a vat of nuts.
Oh, by the way, the French version is Le Père Noël est un ordure. Translates
You
to
got Spanish there at the end.
Yeah, I know. Translates to Santa Claus is a stinker.
What?
That's the English translation. Santa Claus is a stinker.
Pepe Le Pew directed it.
I wish there was a stinger at the end of this movie where the baby was fucking Thanos.
Oh, I'm collecting rocks. not
just-
stones.
And then it's Josh Brolin like deep faked onto a baby.
Weird. He's all, I'm a baby actor.
You remember me from the Goonies.
Wait, do you think they named the kid Santa Claus?
Maybe.
So that's about it, guys. You have any final thoughts on Mixed Nuts?
No. I don't have any. Me personally, I don't know about the fellas here. But
We got a
don't
Dr.
think it
John
was
Mixed
bad.
Nuts. The song.
Oh yeah, Dr. John has a Mixed Nuts
It's
song.
an explainer song,
It
right,
is.
for this movie?
I think so. That's
My one prevailing thought throughout was this movie has a lot of moving parts.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
trying to take notes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I was like, this is nothing but plot, and none of the plot means anything.
right. I gave up on note taking partway through. I just
Yeah, I
was
did.
like, man, I just gotta live this one, I think.
I gotta be clear and present.
Trapped in an
present.
elevator.
So that's about it for this week on Holiday Phosphorescence, which means it's time to look to next week's movie. And next week's movie will be a Christmas movie as chosen by Mr. Josh CC. Josh, tell us, what
Yes.
movie will we be watching next week?
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh!
No, we're not.
Dracula, dude.
Blackula. Yeah. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go with the classic. I'm gonna go. I don't know if we'll have a lot to say about it, but it's so good. I'm gonna go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Ooh. Yeah. That is a good one. All right. Christmas Vacation next week on Holiday Phosphorescence. Till then, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you spending time with us. This has been your host, Throw Smiley. Say hello to your dead husband's sister for me.
I'm Josh Cece, and he's not just a friend. He put my dog to sleep.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I want to write your name in cheese, baby.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and what is it about Janet that worried you?
I'm Malaric Weber, and
I love grape jelly.
Oh, right. I forgot.
I actually don't.
Oh.
We'll see you next time. everyone.
Trivia.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, gone. And Hosanna, Santa can't resist those nuts.